Ano pong masasabi ninyo?
Pero,
naman,
mahirap itago yan, ha?
Hindi niya maitatago yun.
No.
Makikita at makikita.
Let's
Ako naman, parang bilang polisiya din, no, na kung nakikinig, ang Pilipinas ay isang mahirap na bansa. We're a developing country. Bakit tayo papayag na may Rolls Royce sa Pilipinas?
Hindi,
Ako logically,
kung nagbayad
kung
naman
binili
siya
mo naman
ng
yun.
import, magkano ba yun?
Pwede mo
Import
kasi
cost, no?
either itaas mo sobra ang taxes na hindi na pwede, or frankly speaking, pwede mo bawalan sa bansa yun. You can do anything, ha? You can, I mean, that's my take, ha?
Ewan ko, kung ikaw
Why would you have a Rolls Royce in the Philippines?
Kasi nga may pera nga siya.
Yeah, but that does not make it right or
Yeah.
appropriate
tama naman.
or conscionable.
Kung moral ang
ikaw
tanong.
ba ay may konsensya na tumatakbo ka sa lubak-lubak na daan?
That's the point.
Tama yun.
Nakasakay ka sa Rolls-Royce.
Parang bagayan mo
naman
din.
kayo.
Hindi,
Ang point,
yun na nga
bagayan
yun.
mo din,
Baka
diba?
sabihin nila, edi mag-pedicab tayong lahat kung gusto natin.
Ano,
Hindi naman, may
extreme
gitna
naman
naman.
yan.
Ano lang,
Extreme.
may gitna naman.
Alam mo, isipin mo yung mga tunay na mayayaman, yung mga tycoon, hindi sila naka-Rolls Royce.
Oo.
Listed companies in the stock market.
Aldrich
ni
yun
hindi
eh.
listed companies in the market. Ni hindi
Kali
naka-Rolls
mo naman ang
Royce.
Rolls-Royce.
Kanya, oh.
O Rolls-Royce.
Akin mo yun.
Tirahin mo na.
Sige na.
Gagal.
Galit ng ating
Oo.
Alam mo,
Hindi
it's the
sasakay
same.
siya sa Rolls-Royce
Actually,
eh.
it's the same stand I have
Yan na,
with
yan na.
honestly,
Hindi, sa-
with sports cars.
Oo.
Nako, if you get me started.
Sa Tagaytay, ang dami
Bakit
nun.
ka magsa-sports
Pag
cars dito?
weekend.
Eh, sa totoo lang.
May
ang traffic.
may pera
Sa
nga
Bataan
siya.
na rin.
May pambili nga siya
Pero
eh.
ang
Maganda
pambili
yung
ba?
sports car, maliit.
May pambayad sa buwis eh.
Ang pambili ba ang solusyon sa lahat ng
Hindi.
bagay?
Bumili na
Sa
ako
moral,
sports car
tama
eh.
yun. Oo. Pero legal ang
Ano po masasabi ninyo?
Ano,
pinag-usapan.
sports car? Anong masasabi niyo sa paggamit ng confidential funds ni VP Sara Duterte? Tama o mali?
Well, since it's confidential, bahala sila kung paano nila gamitin yan. Basta, hindi nila ibulsa. Yun lang sa akin. Kung ginamit nila yan, gamitin nila at i-justify nila. May kuha naman na nag-imbestiga. So, may-imbestigan mo sa kuha kung mayroong mga pagkakamali. Kuha will determine everything and they will be the ones to recommend the filing of the case. Kung
Oo.
meron.
So wala kayong nakitang maliit kay Mary Grace Piatos, yung mga pirmang pare-pareho?
Bakit kasi nagpupukus? Magtanong nga kayo sa Davao kung sino yung Mary Grace Piatos.
Kilala niyo?
Maraming Piatos dyan sa Davao.
Totoo ba to, sir? Ito naman.
Oh, mamatay ko! Lupa doon sa likod ng City High. Lupa yan ng mga piatos. Punta ka sa Bunawan. May mga piatos dyan. Hindi ko lang alam kung sino si Mary Grace, ha? Oh, pero maraming piatos dyan. Huwag mo yung sabihin na not existent yung tao niyan.
Walang birth certificate.
Ay, papahanap nga niyo kung pwede naman kasi gumawa ka ng pangalan, mag-codename ka para it's intelligence
Okay.
operations,
Alright.
confidential operations. To hide the identity of that person, they can assume nom de guerre, they can assume their codename. Pwede man ganun. Pero pag sabihin mong piatos, that's an insult na pakayaman ng mga piatos sa Davao. Ang lalaki ng lupa ng mga piatos sa Davao. Merong piatos sa
Sige,
Davao.
you got me there. Okay,
Yes.
next question.
Dapat ba si Senator Bato de la Rosa ay dinggin din sa ICC? Dapat siya ba maaresto siya?
Dapat siya talaga pumunta sa ICC. Talagang dapat. Kasi siya ang, if President Duterte gave the instruction and it was carried out, then it is Senator De La Rosa who should explain to the ICC na mali ang interpretation ng pre-trial chamber. Yun yung nag-issue ng arrest, no? At nagsabing may jurisdiction sila. Dapat talaga nasabihin niya, mali kayo. Kasi ito talaga ang meaning ng double barrel, yung HVT, yung high value targets, ito talaga yung policy namin, yung mga nakikita yung mga ballistic reports mali, yung mga EJK victims kin na nandito, nagsisinungaling, he has every opportunity to do that.
Bato can be a witness for Duterte.
Yes, he can be a witness for if he is credible at maganda yung paliwanag niya, the former president will be free. Kasi sasabihin, maaaring ang story ni Senator Bato, hindi naman niya alam eh. Akin lang, tinago ko yung data sa kanya, binigyan ko siya ng cover-up, etc. So, pwedeng ganun ang story, di ba? If he loves the president so much, he should just accept all the responsibility on himself.
Do you think he'll do it?
This time, I think he should really reflect on his duty under the law, which is very clear. Malinaw naman ang law on the execution of law enforcement authority. Malinaw yung boundaries. Kung linampasan niya yun, then it's time for him to reflect about whether it led to a correct outcome. Kasi mukhang hindi di ba? Hindi nasugpo yung drugs. Very temporary yung impact ng takot. Pero ang klaro, sociologically, talaga naghahanap ng savior, ng strongman ng Pilipino, no? But flouting the law and destroying all the legal mechanisms is the worst way to show that a leader can take care of the Philippines.
Parang naglolokohan tayong lahat. Pinapagalitan nyo yung DPWH, pero yung totoo, the corruption starts with Congress owning contractual companies, these construction companies, and getting alleged kickbacks. So, will you call them?
Well, ang trigger po for the Tri-Committee to invite anyone, including legislators, including...
No, will you call Zaldico? That's a direct question. I mean, I saw that hearing and actually barraging the DPWH, the agencies, they're not the prime. They're not the masterminds of the corruption here, right? You've seen how the budget is made, kung saan sinisingit, ginagamit ang flood control. The president comes out with a list, so dediretsuhin na kita. Yung SunWest Incorporated had 79 projects na flood control. They were given 10 billion pesos. Ang founder nun, si Zaldico. Ang High Tone, 61 projects. 4.8 billion pesos. This is on record. Bakit di sila ang ipatawag? Parang naglolokohan tayong lahat. Pinapagalitan nyo yung DPWH, pero yung totoo, the corruption starts with Congress owning contractual companies, these construction companies, and getting alleged kickbacks. So, will you call them?
Well, ang trigger po for the Tri-Committee to invite anyone, including legislators, including...
No, will you call Zaldico? That's a direct question.
Yes, if he is named as a part of anomalous deals, then he will be asked.
No, he is a founder of, he is a part owner, SunWest and High Tone. Records show it. So, will they be called? And
Yes.
you will call them?
Yes, if they are named as part of anomalous transactions relating to infrastructure and flood control projects, then they will be asked to sit before the Tri-Committee and explain themselves. But again, to be very clear, I've seen all of the other documents. I think Congressman Zaldico has already divested himself from SunWest.
I mean,
as of
Representative
2019.
Riton, you and I know that everybody divests themselves, but that is just a matter of record. Divesting means nothing. You know that. Matanda na tayo. Alam natin yun.
But again, to be very clear, this divestment is the particular requirement under the law, no? So, ibig sabihin, if he is actually, again, the trigger for the investigation, whoever it is, whether a legislator, contractor, high government official, if they are named in an anomalous deal, they will be asked to sit before Congress and explain themselves.
Okay, because to focus on the contractors themselves would be, I would have to say, half the justice done. Because ang contractor, hindi naman lalakas ang loob ng contractor kung walang backer yan na congressman. Alam mo naman yun. Sino namang contractor gagawa ng substandard na trabaho kung hindi siya hiningan? 'Di ba? Kinailangan na niyang magbayad in advance. So now the contractor has no choice.
Well, again, these are assumptions that you are making at this point, Karen. No? We would want to be able to see it on a fact-to-fact basis, on a case-to-case basis. Ito po actual anomalies that are being seen with the flood control project. And again, in the hearing in the briefing yesterday, the DPWH actually said that to date, the 15 contractors named by the president, they have not seen yet, as of yet, anomalies relating to substandard projects, anomalies related to...
And why do the investigation at all? Why waste the people's money and do it if you are not out for blood? It seems to me that, you're telling me, walang problema, ba't ka pa mag-iimbestiga? This is inexcusable. Parang biktima pa siya na ang bait niya, Gusto niyang tumabi? Because it seems to me that your colleagues are protecting Zaldico. It doesn't seem like they want to know the truth. Kauumpisa pa lang, dinotion nyo na. Sinabihan na kayo, ba't pa i-invite? Sinabi ni Garin, let's not make it about personalities. Which, by the way, ang nagnanakaw, personalities. So, ang tanong ko, what kind of hearing do you expect? Ngayon pa lang, tinatakpan na ng mga kasamahan nyo. Ayaw na mag-invite ng, even as resource persons. Okay, now, are you hopeful with the committee chairman, Terry Redon? Because when I interviewed Terry Redon on Head Start, he was already defending Zaldico. He said Zaldico divested from SunWest, etc., etc. There's no proof. So for a committee chairman to already be defending another colleague who could be a resource person, what do you make of that hearing? With declared assets of 474 million pesos and zero liabilities. How did you get this rich?
Well, I was a lawyer before I became a congressman. I still am. And I was in the corporate world. I was able to rise up the ranks of some corporate boards. I even ended up becoming the chairman of Equitable Banking Corporation and the chairman of Blanket Corporation, the oldest mining corporation in the Philippines. And we were behind some of the biggest mergers in the country. So, well, we were very lucky and fortunate to make the right investments and decisions then.
Yeah. Who has zero liabilities in government? Only you. All right, okay.
I'm old-fashioned. My father never wanted to have utang.
Okay. Now, speaking of your father, I know he's passed away, but at one point he was recognized by Forbes as the 30th richest man in the Philippines with a net worth of 3.3 billion pesos. Would you agree to that?
Well, I guess that's per their records, and I don't know how they come to that, but then again, I'm not going to contest anything because that's what they put out.
Now, would you consider your father a Marcos crony or someone who has benefited from the dictatorship or leadership of Marcos, him being the brother of Imelda Marcos?
He wasn't the crony, he was the brother-in-law of President Marcos. He was a governor for about 20 years, and he
But
served
where
as
would he get 3.3 billion? I mean, in net worth. Where would someone in government get 3.3 billion?
I guess he had some investments as well. I was much younger then,
Okay.
so I didn't know his business transactions. But then again, there have been cases, and all of these cases revolving the PCG and the anti-graft, most of them already been dismissed, particularly the anti-graft cases. So the records speak for themselves, and I guess Forbes wouldn't come out with those figures if they were derived from spurious sources.
Do you think any of your father's wealth was illegally acquired?
No, I don't think so.
You don't think so. All right, I'm gonna, since you mentioned the PCGG, I'm gonna go on to read this. In 1986, after Marcos fled, the PCGG listed at least 61 corporations where your father was said to have acquired shares illegally. Now, you may be asking, this is the same Bongbong Marcos question.
Okay.
Why are you asking Bongbong Marcos about issues related to his father? Well, of course, because when you get into a national post, decisions you make, this is what the taxpayer believes, eventually affect, of course, your whole family.
Yes.
All right? So I want to ask you, all right, Benguet Corporation was mentioned, First Philippine Holdings, Mantrade then, part of Meralco, Shell, PCI Bank, among others. So if I were going to ask you today, your brother, you had mentioned, is still a shareholder of Benguet Corp.
Yes, he's a member of the board. Yeah,
Okay.
members of the board.
How did your family get into Benguet Corp?
Well, I believe these were investments made earlier on. And as I said, if there were any criticisms or accusations with respects to the provenance of these assets, they were all basically dismissed and they were cleared. So everything's good.
All right. So, you know, during the time of Marcos and even Cory Aquino, the Romualdeses, in a sense, were low-key in terms of national public service. Now that you're getting into the national limelight, are you prepared for all these documents and accusations to be dug up once again? I mean, it's not easy being a Romualdez in public office.
Well, what is? Nothing in life is really that easy. But then, of course, we're ready because there's nothing to hide. We're very transparent about it. And I'm for the FOI. I'm all for presenting my statements of assets and liabilities to the public. We were actually one of the first to do that in the 14th Congress, and so we're ready for it. And this is, as they say, par for the course. When you put yourself here in the national consciousness, then obviously you should be ready for all the criticisms and whatever accusations, and you've got to discharge yourself accordingly. And we've got nothing to hide, so we put ourselves there.
Yeah.
But at the end of the day, we're here for a higher purpose, and that's to bring back, as I say, malasakit to the government. And we have a duty, we have a job to help our region. It's very, very easy to retreat back into the private sector, to be anonymous, and just to do your own thing. But I cannot turn my back on the people in our region who suffered so much and who need so much more help. I can only do so much from my private sector position, but I think I can do so much more. As a senator, the most important role is legislation. And Karen, the most important piece of legislation is the budget.
Okay, before we go to the budget, I'm going to finish this part first.
Sure.
And then we're going to move on to issues, the budget, your advocacy. Do you remember when you first got into the national consciousness?
My goodness.
I
You should
remember.
tell me.
I remember. You first got into the national consciousness as Martin Romualdez, as Congressman Martin Romualdez, when you were named, this could bring back bad memories, as the host of President Arroyo's dinner in Le Cirque,
Okay.
where you allegedly paid $20,000 for dinner.
Okay.
Did you pay $20,000 for dinner?
No, I didn't pay for a $20,000 dinner, and I think that's all I can say about that.
You didn't pay for that, but then if you look at the old articles, is Malacanang had said you hosted and paid for it.
I can't say I have because I didn't.
So who paid for that dinner? Because
really
if
don't
you
know.
Google Martin Romualdez and Le Cirque, it will say that you paid for that dinner. I mean it. So
Well,
you didn't pay for it.
no.
You're on the record, huh?
Yes.
You're
yes.
on air.
I'm on air. I don't even know how much that dinner was. I was there, but I didn't pay for it.
So who paid for the dinner?
I don't know.
Yeah.
I didn't pay for it.
But didn't you stand up for that dinner at one point when GMA was being hit? Didn't you come out in an interview and say you hosted it? Never.
No.
You never did.
No.
He has become so much a target for everyone. No, is that when something is an attack is made on the administration, and he is the target, he allows it to happen because.
Well, Congressman, I mean, I understand you work with him, but I think we need to hold our leaders accountable. He is the Speaker of the House. The budget emanates from the House. There are talks of ostentatiousness and extreme wealth, private planes, supposedly more than 10 houses in Forbes Park. I'm sorry I have to bring this up, but to defend the Speaker that he's a victim in all this, it's appalling to the Filipino people. At the end, he would not even explain the corruption in the budget that he allowed. The House passed it, Congressman. In the end, we are talking about the public being angry of the ostentatiousness and extreme wealth of Martin Romualdez, Zaldico. This is not the time of the wealth you and I have seen in past administrations. Galit na tayo nun kay GMA, kay ERAP, etc. This is a whole other level of alleged corruption. This is the levels of Nepal.
Yeah.
That kind of anger, which I hope not, but at the end of the day, when you hear about homes abroad, I mean, Congressman, it's very difficult to defend Martin, who was in power, unless he submits his saled. He explains. Stepping aside, I don't think is enough for the Filipino people. I mean, it's not personal to me. I'm not angry at him personally, but as a leader, this is inexcusable. Parang biktima pa siya na ang bait niya, gusto niyang tumabi.
No.
Ano po masasabi ninyo?